Good afternoon, this is Nick with Williams Sewer Line Inspectors performing a video inspection at 1414 Chandler in Burbank. Alright, right now what we're looking at is the city sewer. This is about 4 feet deep underneath the alleyway behind the house. Pulling back here, we look at the connection. And this connection looks to be done properly. This is a field connection, which just means that they installed it at the time of putting in the sewer rather than having the city put it in. And then, so far the pipe looks to be doing pretty well. This is a clay pipe. Doesn't rust, doesn't corrode. It can crack because it's not a flexible material. So far we haven't seen any cracks in the pipe. Roots are able to get into a clay pipe, but so far we've only seen a minimal amount of root intrusion. We've got some debris sort of sitting here in the line. That should flush through the system with some water. Pulling back here, we really don't see any problems with the pipe, so that's good. Here we have a sort of an interesting connection. This is being made right in the backyard next to the tree. Whoever put this line in probably used rubber joints, which is going to prevent root intrusions for a little bit longer than the standard mortar joints will. So you have very, very little roots coming into this line. I do suspect that the line's probably been cleaned not too long in the past. That might be a contributing factor to so few roots. So I would recommend that still, with the amount of roots that we're seeing, that a maintenance about once every 12 months, go ahead and get a regular sewer cleaning done with the standard snaking method of sewer line cleaning. A little bit heavier roots there. Really no breaks in the pipe. The access that we have here is a 3-inch access. So in order to clean this pipe properly, you'd really need to use, make sure that the person doing the cleaning uses main sewer cleanout blade, which would be called a 4/6 blade specifically, which means it goes from a 4-inch blade to a 6-inch blade, but it can also fit through a 3-inch access. It's actually really the perfect tool to use for this job. The only one that would get a good product other than hydrojetting. Just some debris in the line here. This debris was sitting in the pipe for quite some time, a little bit further down, right here, and it left a little bit of a stain on the bottom of the pipe. So really nothing to be worried about there. Here we have, looks like, possibly where that debris came from, a little bit of a chipping around the edges of this joint of the pipe, up at the upper right-hand corner of the screen. This is a joint. It's going to allow for that sort of abuse. I believe this is probably something that was caused by unhandled root intrusions in the past. And it's really a great point as to how not cleaning roots out regularly will allow for some damage to be done to the pipe. At this point, the damage doesn't appear to be affecting the system or the performance of the system, but it does highlight the fact that this line should be cleaned out regularly, as most clay lines should. Here we go into a plastic pipe, and then we go into the access that we got into today for the system. So overall, the main sewer line for this property is made out of a plastic, small portion of plastic, mostly clay pipe, and it's running out the back of the property towards the city sewer, which is really a great way to have it go. If there ever is damage in the pipe in the future, it will be a 4-foot dig underneath some pretty old asphalt and behind the house in an alleyway. So really no street closures, no real expensive sewer fixes will ever be needed on this line, just because of the location of the city sewer being under a fairly easy to access location. At this time, nothing is broken to a degree that I would recommend it's repaired. There is that one chip in the pipe, and it would be a good idea to have a look at that in another 3 years or so, make sure it's not changing or moving about. And as long as standard maintenance is done on the line, there should really be no problem with that. I would say every 12 months or so for the maintenance. Again, this is Nick with Williams Sewer Line Inspectors. Please see my written report for all the final findings and recommendations on this line. Thank you very much, and have a great day.